Hi guys, welcome to the flight this evening as with the Ryanair 737-800, and I thought we'd just test out the Orbx, as I haven't ever really had any of the Orbx in, so I thought we'd try out Southampton's Orbx for when we come down into runway 02. We'll be doing the RNAV approach. We've got a lovely Ryanair, I thought we'd take Ryanair out as well, because we haven't used that as much either. And yeah, so we've got the Orbx South in. Just put the demo in just to see what it's like. I'll show you guys what it's like as well. We'll do a wing view arrival too, as it is pretty cloudy down there and it's got some lovely views for the arrival. So don't forget to like and subscribe guys, leave your comments down below, support the channel, and I'll see you inside the cockpit ready to start the aircraft up, ready for our departure out of lovely Jersey today. So we're in the 737-800 now, so we go overhead, we get the battery on unguarded, standby power is guarded, and ground power is on. We'll go to bat and ground power. From there we'll get the one pump in so we can get the APU all started up, ready for us to go today. We get our panel lights all on as well, which will get set. We'll arm the emergency lights, get the no smoking seat belts which are on and checked. Get the window heats on, which will be set. We'll go overhead, get the irises which can be aligned. Test out the flaps, we can test out the flight recorder which is checked, and do our max speed warning whilst we're there. From there we'll get the trim air on, we'll get the packs on to auto which are checked, we'll get the APU bleed on as well, which is also set and checked. After that we're going to go down and get our panel lights all in. It's going to be a really nice scenic view down into Southampton today, just off of the coast. Get our panel lights down for the nabs. And as we just wait for the IRSs to come in now, which they should be done any minute as they are in faster line. Once they do, then we can get the aircraft all prepared and ready to go. So we can test out the APU before we send it over. So we've got the overheat detection which is there. Got the overheat detection which is also there, which is set. We can switch that over now. Go over to the APU gen. Test out the terrain warning.
Flight slow.
And we'll go into the FMC now and get the IRS position alive.
Wind shear.
So we're going from Echo Golf
Terrain.
Juliet Juliet.
Up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Up. Airspeed low.
Punch that in. We'll get up into Jersey where we're coming down into Southampton. So we've got Echo Golf Hotel India. On the departure route we're leaving runway 08 and we're taking the Arista 1 Delta. From Arista, once we leave out, we're going to go from Orist to the Yankee 110, which will be set in for us today as we take the airway down to Thread, which is going to be the start of our arrival, which will be also in. So from Thread we're going to be taking the Thread 1 Sierra, and that's going to bring us in for the RNAV 402, which is in and set. Go over to our route now, we can activate that up. We'll go into our perfs. Today we're rocking out 65 tonnes on gross weight. We've got 55 zero fuel weight. We're taking 2 from our reserves. Coming in for the cost index we've got 20. Flight level is going to be 4140. Coming in for the ISA. We'll get everything all set, even though it says unable cruise altitude, we'll get that all set and configured. So 140 is in. As we leave out, we'll get the ISA now. So we've got 14, which is 018 at 018. That's going to give us a -1 for the ISA. Coming through, we're going to take a full takeoff and we'll go into climb 2. We'll be taking a flaps 10. 133, 135 and a 145 for V2. Okay, which is set. We can get the flight directors on and checked. We get the first officer side, which can be all lit up for us today. So we get the centre of gravity for the aircraft 23.2, which gives us 4 on the trim. We'll do a bleeds off takeoff today as well. Auto brake can be RTO, which is checked. Also throttle can be armed. As we go over now, we get the yaw damper on. We can get all of our pumps all on, which are checked. Electric hydraulics can now go on, and we get the engine bleeds off as well. So we've got 140 and airport elevation coming down in, as we've got 50 already set. Airport elevation is 44, so around that to nearest 50, there's 50, which is also set for us. So we can go ahead and close all of our doors. Okay. As we can tell them all to leave, we'll get the reserve gauge on as well. Okay, which is all set. Recall just before the electrics. Go in and get the weather now. As you go from Echo Golf, Juliet, can send that off and take a look now as all of the carts aren't going. So doors are clear, everything is all set. We're going for our before start checklist. So we're going to call the tug in just a few moments time. We'll see if we've got any VORs coming out. We've got all our doors shut, which are set. Leaving out the runway, we're going to leave it out to the 083. We'll make a left-hand turn to Orist. There's the VOR, which is the 112 for Jersey. Okay, which is in. So there's Jersey now. And as you can see, we're going to leave up. We're going to intercept from there onto the 002. Okay, so 002, which is in and checked. We can put the TCAS now to TA. Go ahead and check our legs on for the weather. We've got 010 at 11, which will get set in. Takeoff speeds will be deleted. After takeoff, as you can see, climb 2. I'll put that in for 800, which will be checked. And we are now pretty much all ready to go. So we'll go and call the tug and we'll get our pushback clearance ready to leave. Driving up, so we'll do our before start check. It's got the auto throttle, which is armed and checked. Left and right centre fuel pumps, which are all on and checked. Electric hydraulic pumps are checked, and all the anti-collision light, which can now go on, which is set. Ground equipment is removed, engine area is clear. We've got second display unit, which is engine, which is checked. Packs will be off, engine start number 1 will be going in sequence and will be all ready to go. So we may as well put Jersey in for the 11220 on the first officer's side as well, which is set and checked. .083 leaving out, which is also set. I'll put 002 in for the first officers, which is checked as well.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
So we'll do a bleeds off takeoff, see if we get a bit more performance as we come out. So we'll leave the packs on auto or high. We can turn off the isolation without keep APU bleed open, along with the engine bleeds, which will be turned off. So tug's now lifting us out, we can see him right there as he gets ready to. Okay, so we'll release the parking brake, which is checked.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, so we're going to go for engine number 1. So you've got a few thousand, 2019 degrees, 1025, which is coming out for us as well. So we'll put 1025, which is in. We'll get the first officers in quickly as well. 1025, packs are off. We'll go for engine number 2. So see start valves open now, N2's increasing, oil pressure will come to life at our temps, and then 25% will inject fuel, we'll see OEGT start to increase. So there's round 19, shut that in. Okay, so 56%, we should have the starter cutout back, which is checked, so we go for engine number 1. Again, start valves open, N2's increasing, all temps pressure will come to life, 25% will inject fuel, and we see our EGT start to increase. So we have got a little bit in the centre, so we can keep centres on as well. It's about 400 or 700. 18 degrees on the temp, so we can leave off the anti-ice. 20%, and we can inject fuel.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by. Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Okay, so we are now moving in. As we are ready to leave, you can see we've got the bleeds which are all set, packs are on, isolation valves off, we've got the left bleed which is off, we've got the right engine bleed which is on, so then we'll turn that off just before we take off so the passengers don't get a little bit too excited back there. Leaving out on the 083, we're just passing over the holds. We'll get the strobes on and runway tunnel flights etc. can go on as well, so go ahead and select which can go in and set. Just rolling over now, we can get our runway turn-off lights on, our strobes can go on which are set, and we can ding the cabin and tell them that we are ready for takeoff. (1025) which is on the QNH. Try and get as much runway as possible. So we are now ready to go. We've got the 002 courses in and set for Jersey. We're coming out on the 085, we're going to go up for 10,000 feet. Instead we've got flaps 10 which are set, auto brakes RTO which is also set and checked. We've got a 1025 for the QNH. We can now turn off the right engine bleed now as we are ready for takeoff. And we'll switch over the gens and get the isolation valve back to auto and the engine bleeds back on after takeoff. So engine start switches are continuous which are checked, and we are now all ready and set to go. It's a 29-minute flight, so it's not very long at all. So we'll get the clock in, can push forward on the column, can release the brakes, or hold on to them as we go up for around 50%, just to power up and stabilise. 146 coming out V2. Okay, so 47 is set, can release the brake, full pressure on the yoke, and toga. Airspeed live.
80 knots.
Check, throttle hold. Back on the column.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive grade.
Gear up. Okay, so all we can do is we'll back straight up to our flaps up speed, which should be set. Auto brake can be turned off now, which is also checked and set. Wait for the gears off, lights out. So we're going up to our flaps 1 now. Should also be set and checked. We can turn off the gens as we get them back on. Isolation valve can go back, the engine bleeds can go on. Now 5,000 feet, we can now switch QNHs over, which are to standard, which are also set. Go down to 1013, down the reserve gauge, which is also set for 299 at 2. Same for 5,000 on the restriction, as we then lead up all the way from 5.5 to 7. So what we can do is we can put in 100.
1,000 to go.
Okay, which should be set. And now we should start to climb up to 10,000 feet, where we're going to stay up there until we come down ready for Southampton. So after start checklist, we've got the engine start switches, which can now be turned off and checked. Everything else is all set. Passenger signs are off, so go to the toilet at your free will. Auto brake is off and checked, gear is off, lights are out, and LNAV and VNAV is now engaged as we go up for 10,000 feet. We can check in on the climb 7,000 to 7, so we want to go to 10, flight level 100 on the climb. Steep descent at Nadal, which is fine, on for the cruise, and we can now go and reprogram that in. That's going to be 7,000 full thread, 5,000, and then Uplies, which is going to be at 10,000 feet. So, as we've got Orist and 77, Orist we can change from 250 to 5, as we're not going to go straight down from Uplies, we're going to go straight direct to thread. So if we pull in the thread from there, that will give us a little bit more leeway. Then from Nadal to BAM to 9 nautical miles, we can say that from Nadal we want to go to 4,000 feet. And then we'll start to configure the aircraft up as we go. So passing through 8,006 now, and the aircraft is lovely climbing up. As we just see, we are going through the lovely clouds.
1,000 to go.
10,000, 1,000 from 9,000, so we can get the runway turn-offs off, and in lights can go off as well. We're all ready to leave now for Southampton. Not too far away from Southampton, there's Upis, and then we're going to take that left-hand turn where our top of descent lies just within reach of thread, and there we can see the RNAV for 02 coming in on the 020, and currently at 93 nautical miles. We're going to be using LNAV and VNAV as we come down. We could use the Ian if we really wanted to, but we'll do it the normal way, which is the LNAV and VNAV. And we've got the LNAV and VNAV minimums in as well, which we can check out. So for the LNAV and VNAV minimums, 510 MDA for 479 decision height. And we're doing the LPV, then we'd be 415 for 384. Right pass going to be 3 degrees, and coming down in, you should imagine we'll be coming in for around about between 145 and 150. So we're currently at 10,000 feet, where we are going to hang through, as I don't want to get too high. And that is pretty much it for the takeoff, guys. So what we can do is I'll take you to the takeoff cinematics, and then we'll come right back ready for our top of descent, nearing as we set up for the approach to come into Southampton and use the lovely Orbx South, as we've got the demo in, so we can check that out just to see what the Orbx's are like. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys when we get back ready to come down into lovely Southampton for the 02 for the RNAV approach. Too far away now, ready to make our top of descent down into lovely Southampton. Currently 56 nautical miles, we're just heading down to thread, which is currently 27 nautical miles away. We're going to be coming down for 7,000 feet once we get down for Nadal, as we've got 7,000 in as well for thread. We're 10,000 feet currently, so we'll put 7,000 in, and then from 7,000 we've also got 2,500. So 2,500 set. Once we come down for BAM2 for 2,500, we'll leave down, which is our initial fix, to 1,700 feet. We'll take the Hotel India 02 Foxtrot, which will bring us down into runway 02. We can go in and get all of our minimums, so 479. Which is checked, which is going to give us down is 510. Which is checked. Go in and get our approach speed. So for the fuel, we're going to have 0.3 by the time we come. So 63.8. Put that in. Got flaps 30, 147 or flaps 40. We'll do 147 just for now, just until we get the weather, and then we can check everything out. So on for the weather request now. We've got Echo Golf Hotel India. It's going to bring us in. We can send that over as we wait for the weather. 62.8 as we come in. 1026 as we come down onto the runway. Which is checked. Down onto the first officer's side as well. Which is also set and checked. We'll do the reserve after. That's 10,000 feet. We can get our landing lights on now, which will be checked. We can get our engine start switches, which are continuous and set. Passenger signs can now go on, and we've got our landing altitude, which is 44. Round it to the nearest 50, which will be 50. There's 250 coming down. We need to put restrictions in threads. 210 below. There's the decel with the top of decel. So what we should be able to do is we can open up the MCP's window. We'll drop that down to 210. Open up speed brakes. So 62.8. Get our landing performance 02. Winds currently down in the field 02010. Okay, which is in. Temperature is 20. QNH is 1026, which is set. Coming in for flaps 30. Seeing as it's 020 at 10, it'll be a +5 and 62.8, which will go in. That'll be max auto brake. So max auto brake is set. That's 10,000. We're just coming to our top of descent. Still currently following the VNAV path, as we're only at 10,000 feet. Currently tracking the 018. We can get the 020 in for the RNAV. So we'll just change the courses, which will be set. We are currently 41 nautical miles from runway 02. We can confirm we've got the RNAV 02 for the 020 track for the course. There's our top of descent coming into range now, and coming down for 5,000 feet. We can just quickly tell it. At 5,000 feet. 020 at 10. So speed brakes in now and armed. Just put wind down as we're only not too far away, so it can calculate on the VNAV. 2,500 is in now, just passing top of descent. There's a vertical deviation now starting to lower, as we can also see here with the triangle, and we're now going to start that descent down from 10,000 feet. So we're still currently in VNAV path. Could knock that out, but we'll keep it in as we'll take control of the speed. And I think as we're going to stay now for 210 all the way, we can tell the autopilot that we are at 210, which will stay in. That will drop down for us. Steep descent, which is fine, and now the VNAV will stay there with us. Can open up the speed brakes just to keep us down as we pass through 9,100 feet. Also check out the vertical bearing as well, 3.2 to 2.6, we need to be descending around about 1,000 feet per minute. So you see the aircraft slowly pitch up. It's capture on 2.6 to 2.6, and our vertical speed will be around 1,000 feet, which is slowing down to our flaps up speed now, passing through 8,007. Keep speed brakes in, and we'll go to our descent checklist. So on for our descent checklist, we've got the anti-ice as required, which is currently on and set. Latest information, which has also been set. The altimeters, which is 1026, and passing through a transition level, which we are going to be saying today is 6,000 feet. We will switch over the courses. We've got the RNAV 02 approach, the RMP, so there is 02 for the 0202 course, which is cross-checked on both sides. Got auto brake set for max, and the course for the runway is all set and checked. From there, we've got the recall, which is checked. Radio altimeter, so we've got a barrier which is 510 for 479, which is checked. I'm currently coming in for around about 800 feet per minute on the glide slope before the RNAV approach. Still holding 210 as we backtrack now onto that right hand turn for the 024, which is in and checked. 2,500 feet is in the MCP window as we start our further descents. Engine anti-ice can now be turned off as it is above 10 degrees. Passing through 7,000 feet where we're going to end up for 7,000, passing through threads, and then we want to get down to Nadal, which we told the FMC for 4,000 feet, so it doesn't give us a super rated descent when we come down on for the approach of the Hotel India 02 Foxtrot. So there's 7,000 feet now just passing. We will be stable on the vertical bearing, as we can see, still following it down 1,000 feet per minute. 210, leaving thread, which is max. And then Nadal, which will be max 210, we've got 7,000. We're going to basically just come down for 4,000, which will leave us in and set. On for our arrival. Our arrival currently 20 past, just on 20 past 6 when we come in. You can see our top of descent, which is right there near to BAM2, where we'll start our next top of descent, which will be from 2,500 feet. So 4,000 at BAM2 will be for 2,005. So I'm going to tell the FMC that I want to be at 2,500 feet. I don't want to be at 2,500 above. So now you can see the top of descent marker has pulled back just ever so slightly. Passing over 6,000 feet now, QNHs can go back to 1026, and we can get the reserve gauge back to 1026 as well. So you see the top of descent has moved back just a little bit more, so it can program in. Keep speed brakes open now as we get ready to pass through the clouds. Passing through 5,005. As we just skim into the clouds now. Speed brakes will now go back in as we're going to hold down, pass through 5,000 feet. You can see our next top of descent, even if we've got the data up, you guys can then see as we come down, BAM to 2.5, 1,700 above Ford Hotel India 0 Foxtrot 2, so I'm going to tell that as well that I want to be at 1,700 feet. So that way we are ready to start the descent at 1,700 and not above it. Passing through 4,005, we are fully established and set up, configured for the approach. We are currently 19 nautical miles now. As passing through 4,003. We'll do our final checks in just a few moments' time. VNAV's in, so it will take care of our speeds once we start slowing down. We've got VREV 30 plus 5. Which is given us today on our speeds, which is going to be a 153. So as we move on now, we're going to be moving on for the 020, passing through 4,000 feet. There's our top of descent. So I'm going to drop in a flaps 5. So when we do start the descent, we'll make sure that the aircraft is fully established and able to go, as we're going to be coming down to 2,500 feet. So 2,500 feet, which is set. and we'll drop that down to 1,700 feet now. As you see, we've got next decel from the top of descent point, which is 185 below. We are 185 below now, so that is confirmed and checked. Flaps 5 currently in. And once we go down the approach, 5 nautical miles, 1670, 4 nautical miles will be 1350. So now we're going to start to descend down to 2,500 feet. Speed brakes are armed, flaps 5 is set. So as we ride up now, you can see the vertical deviation is still there, so we are descending down with the profile. We're below 185, which is also set and checked. We'll get our runway turn-off lights on now, as we're going to get ready to fly through the clouds. All for our fuel center tanks can now be turned off. There's the next decel, as we've got BAM 2 coming in for 2005. So we're in the control columns over now. As we get the aircraft all set and ready to go, so we can see that we are all configured and ready to leave and come down on the approach. We've got flaps 5, which is set. As you see, the aircraft's going into its descent now. So passing through 2005, what I'm going to do is we'll go down to flaps 15 and drop the gear as the airport is in sight. Currently about 10 nautical miles, but we're just going to start the descent down from 2007 to 1,700. So we'll just get an early start onto the arrival today. Flaps 15 is set, gears down, 3 green, 2,500 just passing, 1,000 to go. We're going to hold off for 1,700 feet, which will then put down to our minimums, which we can put. We've got 510, round it to the nearest 100, we'll put it to 600 feet. There's the next decel point, and we can see that there we are, ready to come in onto the descent profile. So holding down now flaps 15, which is set. I'm going to slow down for 1,700 feet now. As we come over the lovely dockland areas of Southampton. So on for the approach checklist, it's got the altimeter which is set for 1026, which is cross-checked. We've got the RNAV approach, which is configured and set in on a PFD, currently 7 nautical miles out. Flaps 15, gear down, 3 green is set. Speed brake is armed, auto brake is max, engine start switches are continuous, passenger signs are on, and landing flaps are set. So go down to our flaps 30, which is going to give us a 152. There is the descent profile that we are going to follow down, and we have the airport in sight. As we can see, lovely views of the docks as we come over. So we are now 5 nautical miles. At 4 nautical miles we need to be at 1350. So we'll keep an eye out, 1350, which will be set. Okay, 4 nautical miles, 1350. So it is on the correct descent profile. And we are ready to go now, guys. So what we can do in a few moments time, we will disengage the autopilot. We can see we've got 2 red, 2 white, which is down on the puppies. As we're following down to the minimums.
1,000.
So what we can do is, as we are ready to go, we can disengage the autopilot and the auto throttle, and now I have control of the aircraft. As you can see, the wind is quite rocky today as we come out.
Plus 100. 500. Minimums.
Continue.
300. 200.
Okay, sweep it down
100.
so we don't hit over onto the pylons.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up and reverses are active. Full pressure on yoke.
80 knots.
80 knots checked, reverses can be stowed. All the brakes can be disarmed. And there we are, guys, down in Southampton. That was a bumpy one, as I wanted to make sure that I cleared over the motorway, as the lampposts are quite high, or the billboards are quite high coming over, so it was quite a little steep one in. Speed brakes can now be retracted as we get ready to turn around. It's a lovely arrival in. Going to leave the wing view with you guys as well, so you guys can enjoy that coming down and see some of the lovely scenic views of the Orbx. So I'll make a turnaround. Okay, so we'll power on up now to the terminal block and retract our flaps as we go up to stand. So we'll get the auto brake now, which can be turned off. Flaps are now all coming back up. As we now taxi on, we can get the flight directors, which can go off. We can reset the speed back to 100, which will be checked standard. Get all the approaches and everything all cleared off as well. And that is it for the arrival, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you with the landing cinematics and the wing cinematics of the arrival, and I will see you all very soon for the next available flight on the channel. So take care for now, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, support the channel in every way, and I'll see you on the next flight. Take care for now, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.